Hello, everyone. Please join me in welcoming Nikhil Gupta, a senior manager, a site reliability engineer at Zenoti. Nikhil has a diverse experience across multiple domains in SaaS industry, voice and video over IP, and e-commerce. He has been a leader in DevOps and site reliability space. Today, he will talk about transforming the cloud investments into a competitive advantage using FinOps. Little background about the topic. Cloud transformation is among the top three critical investments across the enterprise for 60% of enterprises. Only 3% do not consider cloud an essential investment. So let's know more about this topic and let's give a warm welcome to Nikhil. Nikhil, over to you.
Right. Thank you, Geeta. Thanks for a warm intro. Friends and colleagues, this is an honor for me to speak here right now. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'll talk about a critical element of the modern business strategy that affects all of us. I hope you can see my screen.
Go ahead, Nikhil. We can see all good.
Thank you. All right, we will talk about the overview of FinOps concepts, their impact, the strategies for implementing FinOps in your organization, and what future holds. But before that, the race for innovation is on, and anyone who is innovating at the fastest is going to win it. Gene Kim, who is an author of a famous book, The Phoenix Project, he once said, if you can't out experiment and beat your competitors in time to market and agility, you're sunk. So the faster you can get those features out to the market and test them, the better off you'll be. Software is eating the world. Every business is a tech business now, whether it is an airline, a bank, a retail outlet. Everyone is turning to software and data to outrun their competition. And in this whole process, even the software itself is not the same as it was earlier. The introduction of cloud services, SaaS, IaaS, platform as a service, PaaS, has changed the way we use technology. We now do not buy the server anymore, right? We rent it. We can scale up and scale down based on our needs, based on the business projections, even based on the traffic of a particular day on our website, and do so automatically. The cloud spend is expected to grow. This is a report from Gartner last year, which talks about the cloud spend growing to $678 billion in 2024, which is about 42% increase from 2022, where it was $478 billion. So software is really eating the world, but the cloud is eating the software. Now, this whole change has affected us in different ways. One such way is where we don't manage our data centers in the same way as we used to manage them a few years ago. Equipment used to be bought upfront earlier. They were often the equipment was often overspecced to take care of the future scale. Costs were well understood. The day-to-day cost didn't vary, and very often it was only reviewed in a quarter once. Reducing resource usage had no or less incentive for the engineering teams. Capacity management was a major cost control. Now, you pay as you go. Resources are available only when you need them. So there is no need to overspec. Unoptimized code can cost you more money by using more resources. Cost can change daily. Your costs change daily based on the workload that you are running, and it can be a sticker shock if you only review it every quarter once. The data that I'm trying to present here talks about the key challenges, and the key challenges remain the same whether you are a $15 million company or you are a $100 million company. Whether you are running in AWS or Google or Azure, your key challenges in terms of maintaining resources, maintaining costs remain the same. And this is where the topic of today comes in. This is where FinOps comes in. FinOps is a paradigm shift in how we manage cost. It is a pivotal shift in how organizations approach the cloud spending, transforming it from a mere operational cost into a strategic asset. FinOps transcends traditional cost management. It's about cultivating a symbiotic relationship between the finance, technology, and various other business units. This collaboration empowers us to make informed, agile decisions that not only reduce costs, but also drive our companies forward. FinOps aligns your investments with business objectives, enhances the visibility of spending, resulting in every dollar that you spend contributing towards the growth of the company. It fosters a culture of cost accountability and efficient resource utilization. Now I'm presenting the FinOps framework, which is developed by the FinOps Foundation. And I would like you to focus on the left part where we are talking about the principles. The principles talk about the traditional teams collaborating with each other to balance the speed, the cost, the quality, making financial decisions with broader business perspective. Transparency in cloud spending and usage of data empowers the teams to make cost-effective decisions. Continuous optimization is no more a one-time effort. Continuous optimization is an ongoing process of improvement and adaptation. But how would you do it? Start with a small team. Start with a small FinOps team. Include the members from finance, IT, procurement, and other business units to champion the thought. Implement some automation which can provide analytics, real-time analytics around the cost spending, and use that to bring visibility. You implement it in phases. Inform the challenges around cost, optimize the cost, and then operate. These are the basic principles using which you could implement FinOps and start getting benefits from this. But then there are some adoption challenges also. Overcoming the resistance to change. Any new thing that you would bring in, any new thing gets some resistance from people to change. Educate the stakeholders on benefits of FinOps and involve them in the transformation process. If the top leadership of the organization is convinced, it becomes a lot easier to implement changes. Data silos always hinder visibility. They always restrict visibility. Implement centralized reporting, implement analytic tools to provide comprehensive visibility into the cloud spend. Keeping up the pace with the changes in the cloud. Cloud changes at a very rapid pace. There are multiple cloud providers, and every cloud provider is bringing in new services, is bringing in new offerings almost daily. And they're improving their existing offerings almost daily again. So you would have the same things that you are working with improved and provide you better cost efficiency. So you need to keep an eye on that. And you need to keep upgrading, keep updating your skills, keep updating your tools to adapt to the new features and the pricing models that cloud offers. What does the future hold? So I believe AI, which I was talking in the previous slide also, AI is both a challenge as well as an opportunity here. Challenge because it can escalate costs real fast and everyone wants them to be low. Opportunity because AI and machine learning will play a large role in predicting costs, in predicting the cloud costs, and identifying optimization opportunities, and maybe also automate and implement the changes on its own. Increased emphasis on sustainability with cost optimization strategies will be at the center stage very soon with the environmental impact of all the technologies that we are implementing. Carbon footprint. There are companies like AWS, the Apple, and other big companies which are already talking significantly about their carbon footprint and reducing the carbon footprint. As multi-cloud strategies become more prevalent, when I say multi-cloud, I mean you would have to very soon not just stay within one cloud environment. You would most likely be using all three major cloud providers. And in that case, you would have to update your processes, you would have to update your practices to ensure that you are taking care of the data that is coming from multiple places, multiple sources in different formats. So that is another future challenge that you would see. In conclusion, I would say in the cloud-centric business landscape, embracing FinOps is not optional. It's a strategic necessity. As leaders, we must guide our organizations towards greater financial efficiency and operational excellence in cloud. The journey to FinOps mastery is both challenging and rewarding. FinOps is not about cost savings. It is about making money. It is about a strategic advantage. Thank you for you joining me today and giving me your time and attention. And I look forward to engaging with you on this topic.
Thank you, Nikhil, for the excellent presentation. Over to questions.
I have a question.
Yes, Nanda.
So first and foremost, Nikhil, thanks for bringing up a very relevant topic. This is one of the hot topics, and you covered it well in terms of saying what are the advantages from a financial perspective and strategic perspective. But what are the risks with cloud?
So cloud is, the risks with cloud would be, most of the risks I would say have already been addressed. The cloud has matured over the past few years, and it has shown impressive maturity in terms of giving you the uptime. So one of the risks that I would consider when 5 years back, what I would have considered is my data secure in somebody else's systems? Would they be able to give me the uptime that I require, that I want for my application to run there, right? I do not control those systems. I only have some access. I don't have full access to those systems, right? So in the past few years, cloud has matured on both these sides, and it has shown some impressive results. Most of the cloud providers today show 4.9 availability, which is 99.99% available in a year. So your application does not go down. And in terms of data security, they implement world-class systems. They implement world-class processes around all the physical security of the data, as well as the digital security of the data. The certifications like PCI DSS, the SOC 2 certifications, HIPAA compliance, all kinds of compliance, all cloud providers, they go through for their services before taking them live. So the data is, it is secure, and people are now trusting cloud more and more in terms of the data security as well.
Hope, Nanda, it answered your question.
Yes, thanks.
Okay.
Yes, Chetan goes next.
Yeah, Chetan, yes.
Yeah, thanks a lot. So I think from a FinOps perspective, Nikhil, great presentation helps me to personally clear some of my doubts that I had in terms of what FinOps is all about. But just one question that I have is personally when I look at cloud, right, from my projects and my automation journey, what I've realized is cloud is good to begin with. From a finance perspective, it's basically a variable cost, hits my P&L directly. But when I grow, right, when my requirements grow, the cost of cloud probably overshoots compared to what I would have spent at a per unit cost level if I had on my on-prem services, right? So I think for all the cloud, I think there is a threshold basis which I think, where the FinOps also comes into play to help us, which can help us understand that, when is the right time to go to cloud and move away from cloud. I mean, cloud is the future. There is no doubt about it. But at the same time, at least today, at least from an Indian context perspective and also from a regulation perspective on the Indian side, there are still people are jittery towards that. But purely when I look at it from a cost structure perspective, I think cloud after a particular scale is becoming too expensive at a per unit cost level. So I don't know. I mean, Nikhil, what are your thoughts on
So I would both agree and disagree with you on that. There are instances in the past where companies which were in the cloud, they have gone on-prem. Dropbox, for example, I read about this famous case study of Dropbox many years ago when they started with AWS and they were growing rapidly, and then they started seeing what you just talked about, and they decided to go on-prem. And at that point in time, they invested heavily into their own storage solutions, which are meant for just to be used, custom-made solutions for their own storage systems. And they went to that and they saved a ton of money. Most recently, I read about Basecamp. It's a collaboration tool which famously went on, their CTO went on LinkedIn and talked about how they saved, or how they are going to save a lot of money because they are now moving out of cloud and coming on prem. But so there is merit to it, and there are times when you would have to figure out whether cloud has become too expensive for you. But then the reason I disagree also is because it depends on the kind of solution that you have, the kind of application that you have, and the maturity level of the application that you are at. Because what cloud gives you is, while yes, it might at times seem costly, what it gives you is the ability to scale fast, right? So you don't need to I mean, in a traditional sense, and I have managed both the on-prem data center as well as a cloud data center. And what I see as different in cloud is, earlier I used to plan 6 months in advance to buy a server, or so I had to know what my capacity is going to be, or what my workload is going to be 6 months in advance, and then buy servers for that. And for some reason, if the workload does not turn out to be that way, the investment is now, the money is gone. It is all upfront paid, right? So the money is gone, and the server is now lying in a rack and not being used. But here you can scale up and scale down at will. So that agility that it provides is something that the organizations would have to figure out, whether they want that or they want more stability in terms of their scale. I hope I
that? Got it,
answered the
Nikhil.
question.
Thanks a lot. Absolutely. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, so thanks, Nikhil, and thanks, Chetan, for the question. So yeah, we have time for one more question, and Nishant, you can go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Geeta. And it was a great, I mean, great clear tech basically. So I have a question. Ideally, in an organization, in which part of the organization should the FinOps team report? Should it be the finance? Should it be the IT infra? Should it be the DevOps? Which team?
Yeah, great question, Nishant. So what I have seen is the FinOps team basically reports uh, uh, into the DevOps slash SRE vertical, and they have partners coming in from finance, from IT, from engineering, and other places, so that you have the major contributor. I mean, it is about who is the major contributor, right? The major contributor to these costs is the site reliability team, the site reliability engineering or DevOps team, because they primarily manage your cloud spend, right? And from that perspective, the FinOps team being a parallel to that and reporting into the same hierarchy, makes sense so that they can work very closely with them. Engineering team and IT and finance also being part of the group helps so that you can bring in visibility in terms of the budgets and in terms of the technology changes or the product changes that require to control the costs.
Makes sense. Thanks. Thanks so much.
So Nishant, hope that answered your question.
Yes, it did.
And thanks, Nikhil, for that informative session.
My pleasure.
Yeah, and the rest of the questions, I know Indranil had a question, so please reach out to Nikhil. Yeah, thank you.